Hey everyone, welcome to this week's conversation. And I suggest you buckle up because this is going to be a fun one. Tonight, we welcome back a great friend of the show who's also one of Philly's funniest comedians and known to many around the world as Notorious FOD, Joey Callahan. Welcome back, sir.
Oh, I'm so glad that my ban has been lifted. I thought I was banned from the show from the last appearance. Thank you so much.
Well, the
it's good to be
statute of
back.
limitations is
Yeah, that's
run.
right. Yeah. I got a good lawyer, so it worked out well. How you been, man?
Been absolutely great, Joey. How about yourself?
I can't complain. Going into the summer, glad the freaking winter's over, and I'm out here in my backyard after grilling some chicken and talking to you.
Well, there you go. Hey, it doesn't get any better than having a great conversation with a great friend like yourself. So I'm really happy to have you back. And I have to kick things off by asking, so back in early 2024, I think it was in January, we kicked off that year with you. So now here we are, almost midway through 25. What have you been up to since then?
Tell joke, get check. Just between my wife and I are actually empty nesters, and I would say my wife's only flaws are taste in men, and but I really dig being with my wife. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm like, we better be careful because the last time we had this much fun when we were alone, we ended up with kids. So let's
Oh,
let's pace ourselves here.
oh, that's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, it is real how I look back and I was like, wow, that it didn't seem like it was that long ago, but it has been, like I said, almost a year and a half. And since that time, I took a stand-up comedy class at Soul Joel's in Pottstown back in January, and I want to share this because I want everyone to know this. Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we also appreciate our first and longest running sponsor of the show, Tom and his team of insurance professionals at the Malin Agency. If world-class customer service and doing business with someone you can trust is important to you, give Tom and his team a call today for all your insurance needs. And not just the people who maybe follow me on Facebook and maybe saw it. But during the class and after the class, I started posting some short clips of some of the things I was doing to try to be funny myself. And one of the very first people to like the post and share words of encouragement was Joey. And I just
Ah,
wanted to publicly say thank you. I really appreciate it. And coming from you, man, that meant a lot.
oh man. Well, just be nice to somebody else. That's all I try to live that. If somebody's nice to you, just best way to pay it back is be nice to somebody else. I mean, you always want to encourage people when it's doing stand up. But the stand up community, particularly in Philadelphia, is a great community. We take care of our own, and we're very encouraging. And there's nothing in the world better than watching one of your friends on stage bombing when you're there, and you laugh in the back, and you just laugh. But on social media, we were very supportive. But yeah, no, man, and keep doing it. I told you off crap when we were before. A couple of your jokes made me laugh out loud, so I didn't see them coming. Good writing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And Joey, I have to tell you, like I took the class. I was thinking, I could use some content for my show. And secondly, I love being behind a mic, and I used to sing a lot, but my throat is kind of betraying me over the last few years with different throat issues. And once I got into this, and then I started writing, it's just like when I used to write songs. It just started happening. The more you write, the more you write. And then I had some great instructors with the class. I know some mutual friends like Jay Yoder and Steve Rinaldi really helped me. And
Two very good guys.
yeah, yeah. And between their help and words of encouragement from you and Chip Chantry and some other great folks we've had on the show, I am having a blast. In fact, got some things in the works right now with some different contests and other stuff. So a lot of stuff going on there. But I want to get back, Joey, to you because uh, you know, we had a chance to talk about a lot of things when you were on before. We talked about, Fishtown, your days in Fishtown before you moved up outside of
The
Northeast
great
Philly.
Irish exodus up to the Northeast. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Right. And we talked about the family tap room and how you were, delivering jokes for Liverwurst and Schmidt's beer and
Boy,
all
you
that
really
great stuff.
remember. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, there's some things I definitely, definitely remember. And that's why I also
Never forget
remember
your
the
first
FOD.
liverwurst.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing we determined, I don't remember if it was Rosie or myself back then, but I think we were saying how, if you eat enough liverwurst, you pretty much could be immune to anything, I think, later in life. So that's a pretty good,
It's
payoff with that.
beer and liverwurst are proof that God loves you. So
Yeah,
yeah, right there. You know.
absolutely. Now, I do want to go back though and ask something I didn't get a chance to ask, and that is if you look back at all of these years that you've been making people laugh and you've been doing it for a long time all
Mhm.
around the world, what are some of your favorite memories?
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, I like meeting people. I like the different countries that I've been to where people come up to you and go, "Wow, it's like you grew up with me." It's the universality of comedy.
Hmm.
I just like making people laugh. I don't like even in the grocery store. I'll be charming for the cashier or make them laugh. Like I don't try to make people laugh. I just like watching people laugh. My favorite story has to be I was at Catch a Rising Star in Princeton. And I've got this secret superpower where it's like a young guy. I'm like the inappropriate uncle at the wedding that sneaks some beer. Like I can connect with like young guys. And there was this kid in a wheelchair, and you could see he was really in a wheelchair. Like nothing was happening from here to there. And I started talking to him, and he started talking to me back. And we had this. It was like 200 people there, but he and I were having this conversation. It was just he was laughing, I was laughing, and everybody else around us was laughing. But it was a one-on-one. And I get off, and of course, I'm at the bar with the other comedian. And this woman comes up to me and she goes, "Excuse me, can I talk to you?" I go, "Yeah, hi. Are we in the show?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, I was, that's my son that's in the wheelchair." I go, "Oh,
Oh,
can I meet him?" And she goes, I just wanted to tell you that you made him forget that he was in the chair for half an hour." And I was like, "Oh my God, I never realized the power of making somebody forget about their problems." That's the
wow.
beautiful thing about in Catholic school, the nuns would talk about what's your vocation. I think that's my
Hmm.
vocation, just making people forget their problems for a little bit.
Joey, I appreciate you sharing that story because one of the things I noticed as I've gone to more and more shows is it's therapeutic. And it's
Oh
also
yeah.
great to see people who may come from different backgrounds, different areas, they come together and for that hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is, they're all laughing at the same stuff. I mean, it's magical and it's great medicine.
But also that's why stand up is made to be in the moment and be live. Like people watch stand up comedy specials on TV or YouTube, and I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
I have them out there, but nothing's like seeing it's like jazz. You can watch jazz on TV, but to be in a jazz club when they're just riffing, there ain't
Yeah.
nothing in the world like that. So, and it's that moment in time that'll never be again, never was before and never was
Yeah.
after. It's just that instant moment that you share. That's why I tell people go see it live. Don't have your phone up. Just be in the moment because that you'll never have that again.
No, that's a great point, and also a great segue into something I wanted to ask you about because
Please.
speaking of live shows, I
Yes.
saw on social media that a little bit later this month, I believe it's June 27th, you've
June
got a
27th.
big
Yeah.
show coming up in Phoenixville at the Great American Pub. So what's that all about?
The Great American Pub, Hotel and Casino. There in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. No, first time I'm working there, and
Wow.
I think I know where Phoenixville is. It's kind of like up and over, like 422E
Yeah.
World, kind of past King of Prussia. That's the western suburbs are confusing to me
Yes,
sometimes, but I'll get there on
it's
time. I
between
promise.
King of Prussia and the nuclear tower at Limerick, which is kind of around where
Oh,
I live. Yeah.
that sweet spot in the middle.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to be there with my dear friend Helene Angeli and Steve Bickle and a young lady from New York named Vicky Wong. I think Wong. I don't know, but she's funny. So yeah, so it'll be fun. It's kick off this. Well, actually, this will be the last show. Right after that, I go in for knee replacement surgery. So come to that show in Phoenixville. You'll see the original package,
Wow.
not my augmented bionic leg or anything. You're gonna see the original factory settings.
So you'll be standing up on your real knees that night.
That's what money worth right there. And you'll hear if you listen when you listen when you watch me get on stage, you're gonna hear crack, 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 crack. So make sure you listen. That's a little extra bonus.
Well, I think one of the interesting things is, and I'm definitely going to be there, Joey. I'm looking forward
Cool.
to it. And folks, once again, that is now I only said part of the name. I said the Great American Pub, but there was more to it than that, right?
I just made that up.
Oh,
Hotel and
okay.
casino. I just, I, I don't know if there's a hotel or a
Yeah,
casino connected to the
no.
restaurant. I can dream.
No, but that's a beautiful area there in Phoenixville. It's a great place to see a show, and I've been there before, and I'm looking forward to coming out on the 27th to see you and Helene and the other folks as well. Looking forward to that, Joey. So now, as
No,
far
real, if
as
I could just throw this in there, if I could throw in there,
yeah,
my cousin passed away, Margie Monahan, and she was one of
oh,
my biggest fans, right? So all the Monahans are coming. So I pray to God that the Great American Pub has got enough alcohol for the
oof.
Monahans because they're coming. Just that alone for the Monahans is worth coming to. So
Well, there's one cool thing about Phoenixville there on that main street. There's
mhm.
pretty much every place is a restaurant or bar. So if they run out, they can just run next door, run across the street, and load up. So it should be all good.
Phoenixville, challenge accepted.
Now, we talked a little bit about you're going in for knee replacement on June
Yeah.
30th, right?
Hmm.
And one of the things that has impressed me, Joey, and I've seen this on your social media pages, is your fitness journey. And
Yeah.
you've been losing weight, getting in great shape, doing a lot of walking. So how long do think this is going to keep you on the shelf before you can get back out there and keep back at it again?
Well, first of all, give a plug to my trainer, Sean Clifford of Iowa Fitness. He's fantastic trainer. Check him out on Instagram. He's the reason I dropped 60 pounds between
Wow.
walking and lifting and diet. And he's a wonderful young fellow from Northern Ireland that I can't say enough good things for. I'm hoping that within weeks, because I'll be honest with you, the geek inside me, I was a nerd my whole life. June 11th, Superman comes out. I don't care if I got to go to a walker or a cane. My pink Irish rear end is going to be in the movie theater watching Superman. I don't care.
Oh man, I'm sure you'll be able to you'll be able to get there one way or another. That'd be about what 11 wait, oh,
Two
wait a
weeks.
minute. So it's June 30th, 11th. Yeah, you should be good. You should be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. So I'm writing James Gunn now. Like it's kind of like a make-a-wish thing. I don't know if I'm going to make it, Jim. Could I get a preview before the surgery? But
Oh,
I don't think he's going to fall for that one. So.
but it's true. I think it's legitimate. So, but you
Now,
don't know.
my older daughter, moved to Kansas to work for the Hallmark corporate office. And she called us and said, Dad, I got you and Mommy the Hallmark Premium channel for free. So when you have your operation, you can watch Hallmark movie. I go, do
Oh.
you hate me? Do you just hate my guts? Why would you do that to your father?
Well, that'll be motivation to get out
Yeah,
and
I will.
about.
Yeah, I will. I'll be on the roof re-shingling it just to get away from that.
Oh my God. All right. So we've got the big show in Phoenixville on June 27th. A couple days later, your knee replacement.
Yep.
What else do you have going on the rest of 2025? Anything else you got to look forward to?
No, just working and traveling and telling jokes and just enjoying life. I got a good life. I'm pretty happy and get to hang out with get to see you. Hopefully, we'll work together soon now that you're doing stand up. That would be
Oh, that would be
exciting.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
then,
you got Philly covered. I do a lot on Delco, having lived there for a long time. So we got it all
yeah,
covered.
Delaware County is like this part of the city that I don't know anything about. And my
Yeah.
mother would always say, that's where all the rich Irish live, Delaware County. And I never, that's what she told me. I just went with it. But then we did a show at the Media Theater this year with Megan Hanley, we're talking
Yeah.
about, and Eddie McGonigal. And it's pretty nice there. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, Media is a great town, and I'll tell you, it's funny you said that because, growing up, I was in Southwest Philly, then we moved to Delco, and back in the day, where you lived in Delco there was a direct correlation between where you lived and how many promotions your father got at his job. So that's for sure. Yeah, if you made it up high enough, you might make it all the way out to Glen Mills. But
Um,
but anyway, no, I'm glad to hear it, Joey, and I would definitely love to look into doing something at some point. I'm loving it. I mean, this is absolutely great. But one thing I'm curious about, and again, looking back at your career, what would you say is the craziest thing that's ever happened while you were on stage?
so I know exactly. I'll go right to the story. I know exactly what it was. I was in Tom's River, New Jersey, and it was a small little club. And I like to get along with people. I don't like to pick a fight, but I always say like I won't look for a fight, but if one comes, I won't be rude. and there were a couple of these guys at a table, and one of them would start to heckle, and I gave it back. He gave it to me, I gave it to him. And then I really gave it to him, and he opened up his jacket and he had a gun. And I go, put the gun away, or I'm going to shove it up your butt. So I get off stage. When I get off stage, the club manager grabbed me by the shoulder, shoved money in my pocket, and told me to get the hell out of there for the sake of my own life. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving. He goes, get out of here. So whoever those guys were, apparently they were legitimate, and I'm going like, you want to go? Let's go. So yeah, that was that was one of my favorite ones.
I have to admit, Joey, I've asked that question or something similar to it to quite a few people over the years, but I
Hmm.
don't know if there's ever been an answer quite as memorable as that one.
Oh yeah, that one was I drove away like like when you do something stupid and it takes a while for it to settle in that you just did something stupid. Because I'll never be driving home from Tom's River going, that I probably could have handled that better. It's like being in the neighborhood. If you let one guy pick on you, they're all going to pick on you. So
Oh
I just
yeah.
like, go. So I think I scared them a little because they didn't think I was. They didn't. I don't think they thought that I was like the crazy guy. So like you learn that skill when you're on the L in Philly at 3 o'clock in the morning going over. You learn you're the one crazy white guy. Everybody leaves you alone. So
Yes. Back in the day, I've rode the L many times.
yeah. So
My
you know that you got to be the
yeah,
crazy guy.
the bus in Southwest Philly, the L from 69th Street, all the way different parts of the city, all the way up to the Northeast, Broad
Sure.
Street line when it wasn't breaking down. Been on
Ha!
all of them.
That one universal question on the Broad Street line. What is that smell? It's like urine and cinnamon. What is happening here?
They need that to be a
Is that
Yankee candle
saffron?
scent.
It's urine and saffron. Why
Yeah.
do I know what saffron smells like?
Oh my God, that's priceless. So, Joey, I got one last question for you, and I
Please.
think just based on how you've answered some of the others, I think I kind of know the answer already. But what would you say? Because we kind of look back in a couple different ways, but if we look forward, what would the ultimate definition of success look like for you?
I'm going to sound maudlin saying this, but I think I already have it.
Mm.
I'm working. I got a wife I adore and who adores me, and I have two beautiful daughters, and my house is paid off. So, for the most part, I've got my health and I've got my family. And I know it sounds maudlin to say this, but all I ever wanted to do was be a working comic. If I go up and I never wanted to be a star, other than the fact that having more notoriety gives you more opportunity to work different places that I work
Yeah.
some pretty great places. I got a great comedy manager in Omnipop, so I'm pretty happy. I mean, I'm what did they say in that great movie Broadcast News? What do you say when you have everything you want? And Albert Brooks says to John Hurt, "You keep it to yourself."
Yeah.
So and that's but full disclosure, I've got a pretty damn good and I'm 58. Look at this head of hair. Even though I got the Papillon haircut, I still got a full head of hair.
Wow, you know what? That's the icing on the cake right there. Or as my mother used to say, that's the icing on the cake that she used to get at
We
the
icing your
Acme.
cake for your birthday. That's
Yeah.
another thing. Birthday.
And Joey, that's why I said I think I knew the answer already. And I believe that, when you're doing what you love to do and you're surrounded by the people that you love and that love you, how can it get any better?
That's wonderful. It's again, just it can get better by helping other people do what they want to do. That's
Yeah.
the only way I could think that, like you said, thank you for saying nice things. I could just say nice things to somebody else.
Yeah.
Just keep passing it on. That's all. Try to be as sincere about that as possible.
Amen. Well, Joey, I'll tell you what, I didn't think we could have more fun than the first time, but I think we
Thank you
did,
for having me back. This
this
is
time.
great. You gotta do a Rosie and Bill live show.
Ooh,
And just
yeah.
have all comics and singers, and you can have and get a few micro wrestlers. You can't say midget wrestling anymore, but you can say micro wrestling. Get a few of those.
Well, the folks on social media say that the live stuff really reaches a wider audience. So, we do record these in advance. And now I've done some things at live venues, but always like, sprinkle some stuff in after. So we're going to have to talk a little bit more about that. I love that concept. That's for sure. Yeah. So I know I'm going to see you in Phoenixville on the
Yeah,
27th. And folks, Make sure you get your
Get
tickets.
there
Great
early, and
American
we'll,
Pub.
we'll we'll have a drink. Get there early. We'll
Oh
connect. I'll
yeah.
text you.
I'll be there. You got to get there early to get a parking spot. So, folks, if you're
Ah,
not
yeah,
familiar
that's
with
right.
Phoenixville, on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, you want to get there early, get a good parking spot. There's plenty of great places, including the Great American Pub, to get some great food, some great drinks, and then laugh your butt off with Joe and the other three comics that are going to be there that night.
Please.
So, I will see you then. Pleasure having you back on the show, and I
Well,
look
thanks for
forward
having.
to
Pleasure
even
to
some
be
more
here.
fun stuff in the future, my friend.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Take care. See you soon.
You got it. Thank you, folks. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. This week's episode has been brought to you by Doherty and Company Insurance Services for all your business and personal insurance needs. Our friends at Tennis Addiction in Exton, PA. And the Malin Agency, where exceeding expectations is how they do business.